This is my super simple thread catcher I made a long time ago using an old pair of jeans. I use this and another one all the time. They kind of move around my sewing room. You could add a little hook if you wanted to hook onto a handle or to hook next to your machine, but mine moves around to the different tables or the areas where I'm working. I start with an old pair of jeans. Jean fabric, Levi fabric works really well. It's heavy duty, pretty stiff. It stands up, and I'm using a straight leg pant, not a bell bottom. The width, when it's folded, is about 7 inches. So that's what I think would work best. I cut from the bottom of the jean to the top. It's about 9 inches. And after I cut the bottom off, I have the beginnings of my bag. I take that Levi and I turn it wrong side out, and then I will put the seams in the middle, not on each edge, because I don't want those out here where they're going to be in the way. And then I'm going to sew across that seam. If these seams from the Levi's were out here, it would just make this area very bulky, and I would prefer not to have that. So these seams could really be anywhere, but not on the edges. So I'm going to sit down at the machine and start putting this together. I'm sewing across using a 1/4 inch seam or a little bit bigger. The seam is not important as long as it's not too small. You don't want that seam to be too small, then it might come apart. All right, at this point we want to square the bottom. So I'm going to open this up and sort of think about a triangle right here. I'll pin, and if you're not sure, you can sew a straight line across there. Get a pencil, a piece of chalk, a pen, and draw yourself a little line, lining up. There's a straight line on my ruler, and I can do this, and it's 2 inches away from the corner right here. Draw myself a line, and I'm going to sew across on that line, making sure that all this is nice and smooth. There we go, all the way across. Do the same on the other side. I'll pin it, and at 2 inches from here, kind of make sure things are lined up straight, and I'll sew across on that pencil line. All right, let's see how it's squared up. There's my square bottom, and it sits like this, but see, it's kind of floppy. So in order to make these sides stand up a little better, I start at one of those corners, hold this, fold this straight here, and then I'm going to sew a teeny tiny seam from about a 1/2 inch from the bottom to about a 1/2 inch from the top. There's my little seam, and I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. You could use some blue thread so it doesn't stick out. And you could also sew off the end here, curve it out just a little bit so you go off the end. try to straighten it up, but the Levi helps you because I can see the threads in here, and I can kind of follow the threads in the jeans and make sure it's straight. And these little corner seams will help it stand upright. One more to go. Make sure that corner is out there. Start with the corner, and we're going to put a seam right here. I need to go back and trim all my threads. I might wait a minute on that. Now my little box will stand up just a little bit better. The easiest way to decorate your little thread catcher is to add ribbon. And then I have these little flowers that can be added. So I'm going to start with the ribbon. I'm going to sit down at the machine and I'm going to just top stitch it on all the way around. After adding the ribbon, I found these little red flowers. They're sort of felt flowers that are in my sewing room here that I thought they would perk up this little easy bag I'm making for my threads. They even had little holes to just sew them on there. After I sew them on with some stitching, I also found some buttons to add, which was kind of nice. I know that there are some really cute thread catchers that you can make. You might go to a little more trouble than this little thread catcher, but this one's so quick and easy. Just a little something to set on next to your sewing machine and catch all those little threads and little tiny pieces of fabric. Helps keep your sewing table tidy. Well, thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time.